We don't want a situation where Ghana Prison Service is having it the same day with Ghana, say, National Fire Service. Currently, people have not passed, so we don't know the numbers. But it may be possible, for example, let's say in maybe Northeast, let me give use that as an example, or say Uti region. The total applicants from the region for Ghana Police, maybe it's 3,000. The Ghana Prison Service, 500. And Ghana Immigration Service, maybe 300. And then maybe the others, 200. When you put all together, you have just about 4,000. So with that, you may have that some of the days, a number of the services will be doing the same. The only thing we want to avoid is that we will not want any center to try to screen more than 1,000 a day. And we will not want a session like from morning, say if they are starting at 7 to about 12, to claim that they can do more than 500. Yes, there may be situations where, depending on the facility, let me give an example. If you take our stadium, and maybe a typical one that is closer to us, the Ohinejan or Accra Sports Stadium, that has several entrances. The security personnel are many. They will say that, look, we have 40 gates. Can we make sure that from this number to that number, you come through this gate and you go to a particular table for the screening? Meaning that with the kind of Accra Sports Stadium, 500 people could be screened in 2 hours. Even with that, I'm insisting that with them, let's not do more than 500 a day, so that we avoid, because it's not sometimes, not even the inside that creates a problem, the outside. So we are trying to make sure that no center will try, no matter what they put, measures they put in place, to pretend that they can do more than 1,000 a day. No. We rather prefer to use 10 days in doing a particular screening than to say that you want to finish it in 2 days and therefore try to create a problem. We will not want to do that. We restrict ourselves. We've told ourselves we may not know the numbers that will be coming, but let's say we all always know that anytime there's recruitment, the police usually get huge numbers. So let's say police in Accra alone gets, say, 30,000. And they have to do 1,000 at a center. We would rather prefer to look for more centers to say that maybe instead of our target of trying to get 15 centers, can we get 20 centers so that we are sure that they are able to do 20,000 in a day? Rather than to say that, oh, this center is big, so because the center is big, can 3,000 people go there? No. We are restricting ourselves to 1,000 a day, 500 per section, so that it will be seamless, so that it will be easier for our young people to go there without stress. And I've also asked, and I've even been told that the police in the past used to do that. Say, look, let's treat our citizens with decency and dignity. So we intend to provide canopies, we intend to provide chairs, so that people who come for the screening will not just come and be standing in the scorching sun, but we'll try and make sure that there are seats where they can sit. And we are even talking, because today, graciously, the Ghana Prison Service has partnered with private person, and they are producing water. And we are saying that let's get water and maybe chill it and give it to even our compatriots. So we are trying to learn from our own mistakes and the mistakes of others to make sure that this exercise is seamless. And the last one has to do with whether we want to learn anything from the previous statement of the minister. Fine, I can't authenticate that. But the difficulty that I have is that, is there any other way you can do body selection or check people's body system apart from doing body selection? If there is, why not? We will exploit it. If there's any other way that you can check the physique, because sometimes large cars create problem. There are a number of elements that sometimes through the just even body selection you'll be able to detect and all that. We will discuss that, and if there's a need for us to devise some other method to do it, one will do it. But for now, there will be body selection. Thank you so much.
My name is Michael. I work with Metro Television. I would like to find out that would it be possible for the ministry in government to adapt a proposal that recruitment is done all year recruitment is done all year round to avoid crowding.
Thank you very much, Honorable. My name is George Osembile, and I report for Pan African Television. Honorable, in your submission, I did hear that you want to do the morning and then afternoon shift. I just want to find out what happens if in the morning shift we have a backlog. Are they still going to feature into the afternoon session? That's one. Two, there's this notion that government of the day actually knows the total number of personnel that they need into the service across board. But they end up opening up the application, and then at the end of the day, they have their total number that they have to observe. I just want to get your response. What do you make out of the notion that if indeed government of the day knows that we need 10,000 personnel to the service, therefore the portal should be open to only 10,000? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My name is Adnan Adams. I work for East Africa. Honorable, as a member of parliament and also the Minister for Interior, public safety actually is one of your concern. And looking at the situation that just happened, it being also a public safety situation, and just to seek your opinion if as well you can also raise it in the forum of government if compensation could be given to the victims of the incident that just happened 2 days ago. Secondly,
I'm afraid I'll have to. That's I don't think there's a minister who has actually on the brief panel. He is responsible.
All right.
Any matter related to it.
Because the member of parliament, that's what I was listening.
He's here in his capacity.
So, with the situation of also,
Interior.
the situation of also forms, when applicants buy forms and they are not selected, some are just rejected right away, like as happened in the army recruitment. Right after applying, if you don't meet certain criteria, you are rejected. The issue of refund of application fees, is it possible?
Thank you very much. One of the interesting things is that I'm sure when the portal opens, and like I said, it's very, I saw it, very easy to follow, and you see each category, the basic requirement is there. Above all, I would publish on the website before you apply. I've said it takes you to the stages, and the tail end and are now ready to apply. Meaning that you've gone through it very well. So let's assume, the portal is going to open, like I mentioned earlier, even professionals. This is not exceeding 35. I don't need an ND, you don't need an ND to tell you I'm more than 35. Then I still go and apply. Then I'm coming to talk about refund. The criteria is there, saying that these are the criteria. You've read it. You still maybe tried, thinking that maybe you can do try and error. Please take your time and read which section you are qualified for. Because sometimes people, let's say I'm a auto mechanic, so I qualify for the the craftsman section. Then I go to open a portal for professionals like accountants, doctors, lawyers. And then I try and put it there. Then tomorrow I'll get something and say that, they said that even auto mechanics cover, but when I put my decision, it made me disqualified. Because you're going to pick the wrong section. So we want to plead with our citizens that don't be in a hurry to apply, because there's this also notion that if you apply within the first 2 days, you will qualify. No, the portal is set that it is IA driven. Whether you apply on the 17th or you apply on the 15th of December, it is going to treat all of you same. Yes, probably the only difference will be there. If, let's say you are in Accra, and we are going to have like 15 centers, and maybe the centers will categorize, for lack of better example, Tesano Police Training as number 1, Accra Sports Stadium as number 2, Legon Sports Stadium as number 3, Botoman Sports Complex as number 4. And it's going to be alloting. I've been pushing people. So after the first 1,000, it says that Tesano is full. So it will push you to Lagos or Accra Sports Stadium. Apart from that, I don't see the need to say that I want to rush and apply the first day, because if the first day I don't get, it's lost. And that pushed me to the other question that was asked. Government knows that they can take only 10,000. Why do you keep the portal open for 15,000, 20,000? The interesting thing is that my colleague, the Minister for Government Communications, here, as we stand here, we don't know how many we are going to take. We know that we are going to take people into the services, but we are trying to see how many people even qualify. But let's even assume that I know that I'm going to have 10,000, and I close the portal at 10,000. Remember, I have to go for body selection, I have to go for tests, I have to go for medicals, and all that. If I'm not careful, I'll have to open the portal. Because if I take only 10,000, definitely maybe some people may not pass the test, some people may not pass the exams, some people may not pass the medical examination, some people may not pass the body selection. How do I just take 10,000? I will not be able to know this. So that's why you have to also keep it as an opportunity for everybody. Because one of the things that I know may end up happening is that at the tail end, when we now know that those who have qualified all the stages and are now ready to be trained, let's say if they are 15,000, and maybe government was originally thinking that he wants to take 12,000 or 13,000. We say, if there are just 2 more thousand, why not add them? It can happen. But if government decides that he wants to take 10,000 and even 30,000 people apply, I don't know the screening, government has only 8,000 that are qualified for training. They say that let this 8,000 go, and then let's do OP for what we call it, the others to also come in. Why are we not going to be doing them all year round? I mean, that would mean the security services will virtually come to a halt. You cannot be doing the exercise all year round, so that every month who just apply. No, there's no way they do it that way, where you do it all year round. The only probable thing I think maybe the questioner may want to ask was maybe to say, just thinking for him, can't we do the recruitment every year so that we don't leave a huge backlog, so that young people may want to come, and maybe for 5 years no recruitment has happened. That's why now a lot of people are rushing in. That hinges on so many things, because the spaces for security persons is not endless. If you look, so that they'll be able to serve us better. If that requires that every year we have to recruit, I know it's necessary to undermine Mama will do. But if there's no need for it, obviously it is not just about recruiting people for recruiting sake. You have to have the need for the recruits before you go ahead and recruit. I want to thank all of you for the opportunity to have this interaction, and we pray that this process goes on very seamless. So in about a month time, when we come to report about the numbers and all those things, there will not be any reason to regret that one thing or the other had gone on. Thank you so much, and have a good afternoon.